So Edmontonians should vote for me. I'm running to build a stronger Edmonton, one that is more affordable, that is more safe, and keeps up with the growth that we're seeing in the city. And that means making sure we're continuing to invest in our newer communities, we're continuing to renew our older communities, and that we're doing that together as a community and coming out with that together. Because at the end of the day, we've added a lot of people here, and we need to make sure that they're supported. And through this work that I can do, through my track record of serving 12 years on city council and being able to deliver on the things that I've committed to doing, that's what I can do as mayor, which is making sure that we deliver more safe, more affordable, and a city that is able to keep up with the rapid population growth.
And with that growth, there are challenges. How do you plan on dealing with that?
Well, I think I plan on dealing with that by making sure we're still investing in the city, right? Right now, we are hearing quite clearly from the other candidates that they're looking to stop all infrastructure projects going forward and just finish what we have right now. We're hearing from this desire to freeze property taxes or even slash property taxes. And when you are growing as rapidly as you are, right? Let's just take, for example, fire halls. We are short 4 fire halls in the city of Edmonton right now. I think we should actually be investing in those because that helps address safety and security. We need to make sure that the new parts of the city have the recreation centers and libraries and other amenities that provide a good quality of life. And at the same time, making sure we're renewing the older infrastructure in our mature neighborhoods. And so this idea that we can have it all, that we can cut back on all of these things and at the same time make sure that you're investing in these new infrastructure but keeping taxes frozen, it's not possible. It's not honest. It's not upfront with people.
So, how do you make all these changes? How do you deliver these services to some of these newer areas? You had mentioned the last time you were in the studio that you were putting forward an austerity budget. So, how do you do that with limited resources? Yes, some property tax potential increases down the road, but within those scopes, how do you do that?
Well, it can't be an austerity budget. That's the thing, is that for me, my proposal is going through and reprioritizing how we budget, working with Edmontonians to make sure we're investing in the right areas. It's what we're hearing from all of the other candidates of freezing property taxes, cutting property taxes, that would result in that austerity. We would not see an investment in those critical pieces of infrastructure. We would actually see our core services get cut back because you can't freeze taxes without actually slashing our core services. You'd have to reduce the number of buses that are running. You'd have to shut down libraries earlier in the day or rec centers earlier in the day. Those are the types of things that happen when you're going down the austerity budget. We saw that in the 90s when we had austerity budgets. We actually got rid of snow removal equipment, and we thought we were saving money by contracting out until you had to renew the contract and there was no competition, and then we ended up paying more. So we have to be very careful about proposing anything like that, and that's why for me, I'm being very upfront with people that I want to invest in the city. I'm still going to be responsible with our budget because I'm the only person, current or former councillor, that has successfully reduced the budget. So I know how to do that responsibly, but I also want to make sure we're investing in Edmontonians.
Appreciate you clarifying that. Thank you for that. Now, you also want to work with each councillor to develop a strategic plan that includes their priorities. How do you approach issues or ideas that you might not necessarily agree with them on, and some of them are pretty contentious?
Well, I think it's talking through and understanding what generated that position, right? Why is that coming up? So if somebody's got a contentious position that's opposite to what I'm running on as mayor, let's go and understand it. What did they hear at the doors from people? What did they hear in their conversations? Is there something that you can go one layer down and actually find out you have more common ground, and then try to find a path forward on that? So it's being willing, and this is what I've done for 12 years as a councillor, right? Most of everything I've committed to doing as a councillor, I've been able to accomplish by finding common ground with different people on council, including those on the right, on the left, in the center. And it's just by thoughtful dialogue, understanding what's needing, what folks are needing, and then taking action on that by seeing if you can generate a solution that brings both sides together.
What's the solution that works for you in your mind when you talk about family-friendly infill? That's something you talk about in your platform. What does that look like to you?
Family-friendly infill is making sure you have homes with multiple bedrooms so that you can have families in 3-bedroom homes, 4-bedroom homes. It also means making sure we're adapting to the different types of families. There are multicultural families that will share a household from multiple generations, will be in the same household. our zoning bylaw in the past actually made it really hard to develop multi-generational households. Uh, Creating them was more of an exception to the rule than the rule itself. And so it's making sure we're advancing the work we have been doing as a city, making the tweaks to respond to some of the concerns that we have heard, but making sure we're not walking back the ability to actually build intergenerational households, cluster housing for seniors that they can age within their community, and making sure families who want to have 3 and 4 bedroom homes have that available to them. So we have to create some incentives and create space where that can happen.
In making those changes, though, how do you ensure that there's solutions that are found and established quickly and efficiently without being bogged down by bureaucracy?
Well, I think on the housing side, we've already gone down that path. The city of Edmonton has about 2% of the population, and I believe about 5% of the housing starts across the country because we have created a system where it is easier to build housing here. We wanted to make sure that more housing can be built. It's why the city of Edmonton is considered the most affordable major city in all of Canada, because you have the opportunity for housing choice here. That's not the case in a lot of other cities. Many other big cities had to react because they were so restrictive that they started to look to Edmonton to find ways to open up the choice for their residents. And so I think it's continuing down the path of what we're doing, responding to the concerns that we do here and making adjustments and refinements. That's always important. That's something we've been doing for a decade as we've been updating our zoning bylaw, but we've been making very deliberate decisions over the last decade to make housing choices widespread across the city, making homes more affordable. And as mayor, I want to continue that work to make sure that families have the option to get a home here. They can choose to live in Edmonton, like the 200,000 people that have been moving here in the last 4 years.
Councillor, appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you for this.
Thank you very much.
That's Andrew Knack, who is running to be the mayor of Edmonton.